In this lesson, we'll be talking about offset command, which is one of the most commonly used commands in AutoCAD. Now let's say we have a line like this, and someone is asking you to draw a parallel line to this line. So someone is asking you, let's say that take 20 units and draw a parallel line exactly to this line. Same dimension, same distance, same length, parallel. So this is parallel to this one. With the knowledge that you have it, you can do it. Why? Because you know that this will be 90 degree, and you know the actual angle for this line because you draw it. So you know the angle. Let's say you know the angle, how much it is. Then you can simply draw a 20 line from here. Then the same line here, 20 line from here. Then after drawing those two lines, for example, if you have this line 20 with 90 degree, this one with 90 degree to the line, then you can simply connect them. You have the parallel line to it. But why would we do this one if there is an easier command that we have it? I'm sure you remember there is a practical example. There is a shape inside it like this. It's very easy one, and there is similar inside it. Inside like this. Now those lines are parallel to each other. I'm sure that most of you done this one by taking one of the corners, something to come here and redraw the same thing with line. But we call those parallel line. Yes, look at them. This is parallel to this one. This is parallel to this one. I mean, each line they have parallel, and there is a distance between them. So this will be offset command. Offset will use it to create a parallel copies of line, polyline, circle, and so on. So parallel, basically copy. I mean, if you just have the distance, you can just get this shape easily. Parallel, I'm sure that you've seen a lot of line like this over each other. You have a distance between them. No need to redraw them. You can just use offset. If you know the distance between them, that will be enough to use offset to draw. So this is, we call it offset distance. Now it can be used for line, for polyline, for circle, and arc. Now for circle, what will happen if you offset circle? The center will remain the same. So the offset basically will be the distance between the two circles. Sometimes in the drawings, people will not get the radius of this one. They just tell you like this radius is 5, for example, and they will say this is 2, this is 2. That's it. You can get the radius, sure. From here till here the radius will be 7. From here till here the radius will be 9. Sure, I can do it. I can use 9. I can use circle with the same center, 5, 7, 9. I can redraw them. But I can use even offset command, which is faster. By giving this offset 2, and we can just simply offset the circle. Same thing for arc. I mean, the radius are increasing, but the center remain the same location. So we can use this one offset for those purposes. The offset basically the distance between the arc here, distance between the circle, distance between the line, whatever we have it. Now let's see an example. Here. It's a bit confusing, but the idea is because we have a lot of similar arcs and the distance between them 10, we think of offset to help us to do this project. Well, before we have to set up the drawing, so I have this rectangle. We're gonna draw the rectangle. Then in order to get the circles, we need to know something about them. So we see that those are the center, we have them. Those are the corners are the center, but I don't have any radius. So this is the center. Those circle here, let's say those are for those part up to here, you can see them, and this is center for those up to here. Then this will be center for those up to here, and this will be the center for those up to here. So we have to just draw one of them, then we can just simply use offset to do the rest. Now we just have the distance between them 10, but we have something here C. The C stands for center. So they said that the four main one, which is the four main one, are connecting at the center. For example, this is for this part, and if I do this one, they are connecting at the center. So can we get the center of this shape? Yes, I can get the center of the shape, and we can use that center to draw the four circle. Then from there we can simply use offsetting inward like this, or for example here inward, offsetting till we get back. Now let's see how this offset works, then we're going to come back to this one. So we have an object here, we will click on the offset command. So here it doesn't matter, we select the object. I mean, it's a bit similar, we have it for the, you can select and click offset. It will ask you specify offset distance. Even if you click on it, it will specify, the first step will not change, it will still be the same thing. It will say specify offset distance. Now offset distance is the distance, for example here, let's say we'll say 20, let's say 10, we'll hit enter. Then it will ask you select object to offset. This is the object, I want to offset it. So if I go to this direction, the offset will come there. If you go to the other direction, offset will come here. It doesn't matter, you just have to choose, pick one side. Which side do you want to offset? I can go up or down here. So one click, then it will ask you select object to offset. It's still continue asking, do you want to offset more? I can click on this one and one more. No, I can just simply create this one more. I want to do this one down, I can still do it. Can I do offset another thing? Yes, I can offset another thing. Doesn't matter, I can offset this circle. It's working for everything. It's working for everything. So I can offset, for example, for circle is go out. So this is we're calling offset. You just give the offset, the space, the distance, then you'll select the object, then you'll choose one of the side in order to do it for you. So let's say we're gonna do this shape here, 80 by 80 rectangle. So let's say I'm gonna go to AutoCAD. I can use polyline or rectangle, doesn't matter. One rectangle. Let's say I'm choosing a point, I'll go for dimensions. I'll give it 80 by 80. Then I'll click somewhere here. Let's say we have, this is the 80 by 80 I have it. Now, we're gonna click on the circle. The corner is the center, and since I use rectangle, I can see the geometrical center. If from the object snap geometrical center is ticked, I can see the center. Why? Because this will be the, from this center till here is the radius. So I can just simply activate center radius. This is the center, and I will directly click on here. Why? Because look at the way that we're drawing it. The second point that I will click it is the radius. So the radius will come here. I can simply copy this one, or you can even use mirror. I can use copy from this point. I'll bring it here. It's the same thing. Bring it here, and I'll bring it here. Then we say that all of them are touching at the center. So we have to trim something. Now here I'm gonna teach you something else in trim. If I activate trim, we said that you have to press enter, then you can go and trim the object. Yes, for example, look like this, then like this, one by one. For example, I can trim this. For example, now I made a mistake. I made it on purpose, intentionally, to say I cannot trim this one. I have to press escape. I have to delete this one. Now this was a normal trim that I told you, yes, normal trim. So if I bring back this one, I can teach you something else in trim. Now before pressing enter, before you activate trim, before pressing enter, if you select an object, what will happen? You will see it will be dashed line. Now this will be considered as the cutting edge, like the scissor. anything that touching this dashed line will be trimmed. What does that mean? If I hit enter, now still I have to hit enter, but I selected something, then I hit enter. Now what will happen? Look, if I click here, from the dashed line to the dashed line will trim it, not like previous one. Previous one was cutting from here till here. This is useful when you have a lot of lines over each other, So I can simply just click here, look, it's from the dashed line to dashed line, it will trim it, the dashed line from the dashed line. It does not care about the other connection, other intersections. This is one way that we can use trim. If you have a lot of lines over each other, you know where you want to cut it. You can just select something, then press enter. If you don't like this one, go for the previous one. It's still okay. Now I still have to trim something, but I have to press escape. Then I can activate trim. This time I can hit enter directly because I don't know which one to select. I can simply, this one will go, believe, this one will go, and this one will go. I will have the 4, because this is for this one, this is for this one, and then we can use now offset to get to the rest of the arcs that we have. So I have 4 that they're meeting at the center. Then I can use offset to get to the rest of the shape. Now how do we use offset? We said that we'll click on the offset command. First thing we'll ask is specify offset distance. It's 10. Then we'll say select the object to offset. For example, this object. You will go inside. No need to exactly click, just somewhere inside. That's it. Click. One click over it, another click. One click over it, another click. So I can offset till we'll get to the last one. Now you see that those will be extended. Come back. So let me just do all of the offsetting. Click, click, click inside. So just simply select the object and you choose the side. Select the object, inward, inward. The way that is the shape. Then the same thing here. You realize that I don't care because the distance always will come 10. So we have here, now we can use extend. We can use extend. So we click on extend. Extend. You can hit enter. Then you just simply try to extend every part, those curves here. Then the same thing for this one here. Wow. The rest. And this one. So I realized that we got this one. I had a lot of extend, yes, a lot of extend. I can do this extend maybe faster. Let me try it. So if I press escape, Control Z, I got all of them back. Let's use extend. Before hitting the enter, I will select this one and this one to be the line that the extension will hit. I mean, they will touch this one. I mean, nothing will be extended unless they will hit this one. Let's see what will happen. If I hit enter, I'm trying to select, as if I select all of them. So select them in this manner. But still I need a lot of work there. Yes. Still I need a lot of work. So there's because they are a bit complicated, they're not easy. To do. Well, let's see if I think of another way. I don't know. I'm thinking to see if there is another way. If I select the edge here, and if I do all of them, I'm gonna get a lot of things there. Still not good. So you see that there is not easy way with this method because they go for the outer part of it. So the easiest way, not selecting anything, just using an enter, then follow one by one to do them. So that if there is a way to do it, you would be able to see it, but because they're complicated, that's the easy way with the extent here, with the extent. Maybe there is a way to think of it, but we're not gonna try it, because if you cannot see it easily, then it's not worth trying if you have faster methods to do it. So if you can see a method that can be used for that one, I mean, you can easily extend everything. Yes, sure, you can do it. If not, you can simply do it. Now let me show you this one. How does this working if you select? Let's say we have a lot of lines. Let's say we have a lot of lines. So I'm just drawing random lines. Now, if we have a line like this, let's say how does I show you something for trim. Now, how does this for extend working? If I press extend, then before pressing enter, the same way for trim, I can select an object, then hit enter. Now, what will happen if I click on this one? It's not gonna stop until we reach to that line. So it does not care about in between. It does not care about in between. This is this selection before hitting enter important if you have a lot of things that, or you want to exactly go to here. Just simply select that one and one click it goes there. Well, I could do this one without even that selection. Yes, hit enter directly. You have to click, it goes there, another click, another click, and another click, it will reach there. But look, each point it stops. So that's also possible to use that one while working with offset or trim, the same manner. Here, for this one, it was a bit complicated. That's why I used one by one to do that extend command. Now, let's focus on the offset. What will be the benefit of polyline with offset? So if I have a line, let's say I have this one, and I have the same thing as polyline. We could convert this one to polyline, but I'm not gonna do conversion here. I'm just gonna redraw a polyline over it to show you the difference between polyline and normal line while using now. Let's just move the polyline away. Now let's say we have two objects here. One of them made with simple lines, the other one made with polyline. So when we're using offset, let's say we're trying to offset this one with 5. Now here I can click on the line and offset it inside here, offset inside here, offset inside, offset inside, offset inside, and offset inside. This is mainly when we have wall or thickness of something, we always use offset. But look at the polyline. I can just simply click on it and go inside. It will even manage the corner for me. Well, how would I manage the corners here? I have to use trim or fillet with radius 0, which I can use it to simply connect and make a sharp corner. I can use multiple, even the fillet, multiple. I can simply try to get rid of the excess parts there, or connect those two lines together and get rid of this excess part. We said this is the way that we can use fillet for some purposes. But you realize that with the polyline easily I could manage it. Now imagine that if you have multi of this one, so it's better to draw with polyline. You can just simply offset it out or inside. So offset, for example, if I try offset this 5, offset this one, I will have a lot of corners that they will not connecting. I have to reconnect them manually. But with the polyline, I can directly go and it will give me the connection by itself, because polyline will be considered as one object, so I can go as much as I want, and if it's possible, like what will happen by itself, directly go say it's not possible to come inside here, it will do it like this. With the line also I have to do it, but manually I have to trim or use some other things in order to manage the drawing. So this is the difference between line and polyline when using offset. Well, if you circle for the offsetting to see how does it work, let's say I have a circle here, and let's say if I have an arc, not random arc, doesn't matter, random arc. Remember, if you do this one, you have to make sure that they are, let's say this circle is how much it is. So the circle is 15 in radius, because the offset that you're using it, for example, I'm using 5 here, it can be seen. If I click here, I can see the 5, because some students doing this one randomly without using a dimensions, so they will not be able to see what they're doing. So you see this on the signal, yes. If you're looking for Wi-Fi, you look for the highest signal. So let's say sometimes you're practicing, do not practice randomly. Say, okay, let me just draw a circle like this, and then let me use an offset. So in the offset, say, okay, the teacher put 10 for the offset, let me try 10. Now you'll not be able to see this one, look, because the offset distance compared to this object is too small. It is there. If I zoom, you'll be able to see there is. But you cannot see it far because this circle, it's big. I mean, the offset distance is too small compared to the dimension of this one. Maybe if I use 500, I can see. If I go for this one, let's say 500. I'm not sure. I just randomly did it. So I don't know if even 500 can give me. Even 500, I cannot see it. There is something, but still. So you realize that doing this, you have to make sure that you go with it. Let's say I'm going for 10,000. Maybe 10,000 will give me something. I can see it. Yes, 10,000 can see. So remember, the offset distance you're giving it, it depends on the object. If you want to randomly try it, you have to be careful to give the distance to be at least comparable with the object that you're trying to offset. So do not just randomly try like this. You have to draw something small. For example, draw a circle which is 15, then offset 1, 1, 1. So you can see it in that way. How does offset is going to help you? So for offset, when you're trying offset, make sure that you see the pattern, that there is things repeating and the distance between them, you have it, then you can use offset for those purposes. Or when you see things doubling, especially the thickness of the object that we're drawing, or the wall, you can use offset for those purposes. Thanks for watching.